Hello to Madam and also everyone watching. This is our business accounting group discussion. Our group consists of 5 people. My name is Zhun Lhip. My matrix number is 299819. And please let the second person introduce herself.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Hanis Pauzi. My matrix number is 298727.
Hi, my name is Aina Syakina. My matrix number is 299656.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Afrina Nabilah. My matrix number is 299787.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Manarina Hasya binti Muhammad Karim. My matrix number is 299598.
Okay, today we are going to make a discussion based on the situation given from accounting and business perspective. The situation starts with the rapid expansion of ZAL Enterprise. Zalzalah Rashid is contemplating the idea of opening more outlets at strategic locations in the city. However, opening more branches requires Zalzalah Rashid to adopt new strategies to support the increased sales revenue, credit management, and improved account receivable collection and inventory management. An approach under considerations is to re-evaluate the credit terms, and the shipping strategy would significantly impact the accounts receivable collections and inventory management. So, based on the situations, we need to discuss and advise Zalzalah Rashid on how he can make an appropriate credit terms to increase sales revenue, credit management, improve accounts receivable collections, and inventory management. So, first of all, what is credit term?
Credit terms is the terms for when payment for merchandise are to be made. Are called the credit terms. If payment is required on delivery, the terms are cash or net cash. Otherwise, the buyer is allowed an amount of time known as the credit period in which to pay. The credit period usually begins with the date of the sale as shown on the invoice. In considering the appropriate credit terms for ZAL Enterprise expansion, Zalzalah Rashid should focus on optimizing both sales or revenue and credit management.
Why implementing shorter credit terms can be beneficial?
There are few reasons why implementing shorter credit terms can be beneficial. First off, it quickens the cash conversion cycle, which increases liquidity and makes better use of available resources. Shorter loan periods can also encourage clients to make payment on time, which lower the change of past due account.
Furthermore, I think it becomes essential to have a productive approach to credit management that includes through credit checks and setting sensible credit limits. ZAL Enterprise can reduce the risk of poor credits and financial losses by carefully evaluating each customer's credit worthiness. This approach not only safeguards the company's financial health but also contributes to a more sustainable and reliable business model.
The third reason is Zalzalah Rashid might take into consideration offering early payment discounts or incentives in order to improve accounts receivable collection even further. This may encourage clients to pay their bills on time, which will improve cash flow. Strong communication lines that enable fast resolution of any payment-related difficulties can also improve customer relations and promote a culture of fiscal responsibility.
I think everyone
see.
agrees.
Thank you for the amazing explanation.
I think everyone agree on that, and that will be an excellent advice the company. So I think we can move to the next question, which is the appropriate shipping terms to increase sale revenue, credit management, improve account receivable collection, and inventory management. So Aina, What is shipping terms?
So, shipping terms are like rules or agreements that explain who is responsible for something when goods are being traded between different countries. Shipping terms tell us things like when the seller's job ends and the buyer's job begins in getting the stuff from one place to another. These terms also talk about who pays for what parts in the shipping process, like transportation costs and insurance. And they also help decide when the risk switches from the seller to the buyer, especially in case something goes wrong during shipping. Example of shipping terms include FOB, free on board, CIF, cost, insurance, and freight, and EXW, X works, and each of these terms has its own specific rules about who does what in a trade deal.
Okay, next. How can FOB shipping point improve the sales of revenues?
FOB shipping point can improve the sales or revenue because when goods are shipped, the buyer becomes responsible for them. This helps the seller to recognize revenue faster and puts the responsibility for any damaged goods on the buyer. FOB can set a reasonable delivery times, which can make customers happy and reduces the amount of stuff a business needs to store, which save money on storing things. FOB can help assess shipping costs. By understanding how much it costs to ship things, a business can spend money wisely without upsetting customers. This is really important for selling more and also keeping track of overall spending.
After implementing those shipping terms, what else Zazala Rashid can do at the same time?
In conjunction with implementing these shipping terms, seeking guidance from a financial advisor or an accountant become pivotal for Zazala Rashid. Their expertise can help tailor this term to suit the specific needs and dynamic of the business, ensuring a more personalized and effective approach to optimize sales, credit management, account receivable collection, and inventory management through strategic shipping terms.
I see, I understand now, and I believe others as well. Thank you for the explanation. So what I can conclude here is to boost ZAL enterprise's success, Zazala Rashid should use shorter credit terms for faster cash flow and on-time payment. Being proactive in credit management, like doing credit checks, helps avoid financial risk. Offering discounts for early payments and keeping open communications can improve getting money in. For shipping, using free on board FOB terms, speed up revenue and shift responsibility for damaged goods to buyers, improving credits and inventory control, negotiating reasonable delivery times, and managing shipping costs efficiently keeps customers happy and helps with inventory. Getting advice from financial experts ensures a tailored approach to business success. By implementing these optimized terms, ZAL Enterprise can build a stronger and more efficient business model for sustained growth.
Okay, so this is our second part of our group discussion, which is part B. The question is, other information erroneously omitted surfaced after completing the financial statement in part A, which requires the passing of adjusting entries. Explain the impact of the omission under reference on the element of the accounting equation of ZAL Enterprise, especially the net income.
Okay, so the first transaction is depreciations of office equipment and delivery van for the sum of 35,000 ringgit. So what is the net income and how it is
Recorded.
recorded?
How is this transaction recorded? Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that because they forgot to record this transaction, the net income will be reduced by 35,000 ringgit because it is an expense. And I think that they should record this transaction by debiting depreciation expense 35,000 ringgit and also credit accumulated depreciation of the van 35,000 ringgit.
Okay, I
So
see.
that will be the first question. The second question is B, unpaid salaries of 20,000 ringgit. What will be the how will the net income be affected, and also how should we record this transaction?
For the net income, it will be reduced to 20,000 ringgit, and the debit side would be the accounts that affected for the debit side is wages to 20,000 ringgit, and the credit side, the accounts for the credit side if will be wages payable 20,000 ringgit. So we can move to the next transactions, which is the available balance of office supplies in hand was 300 ringgit. So how the transactions affected the accounts, and what is the net income?
Net income will be decreased by 3,700. This is how we record this transaction. Office supplies expenses debit sides are 3,700. Office supplies credit side 3,700. So next question is total of 7,800 of the unearned revenue was released. So
Okay, so the net income will be increased by 7,800, and this is how we should record the transaction. Unearned revenue debit side will be 7,800, and sales on credit side will be 7,800. So moving on to the next question. A sum of 40,500 ringgit Malaysia insurance has already expired. So what is the net income and how should we record the transaction?
Net income will be decreased by 40,500. This is how we should record the transaction. Insurance expenses debit side is 40,500. Prepaid insurance credit side is 40,500. Okay, next transactions is the billing department forgot to send invoice to a customer for a total sum of 24,400. What is the net income and what is the account affected for this transaction?
net income will be increased by 24,400. This is how we record this transaction. Cash debit side 24,400. Sales are 24,400. So
Yeah. So the next question.
next question is
Yeah.
interest revenue of 15,800 was not recorded. So what is the net income?
I think that because they forgot to record this transaction, the net income should actually be 15,800 ringgit more. So we should add 15,800 ringgit to the net income. And how they should record this transaction is by debiting cash 15,800 ringgit and by crediting interest revenue 15,800 ringgit. Yeah. So that is for question G. Question H, the next one is suppliers' invoices amounting to 135,000 ringgit were misplaced and only recently discovered. So how would the net income be affected and how should we record this transaction?
So the net income will be decreased for 135,000, The accounts that going to affect is merchandise inventory and accounts payable. Merchandise inventory will be recorded in debit side in 135,000, and credit payable will be recorded in the credit side with amounts 135,000.
Yeah, so that will be our discussion for part B. That's all.